Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to talk about A&E's newest original television series by the name of Bates Motel. I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions on tonight's pilot or premiere episode, pretty much the first episode of Bates Motel. But before we get to that, I'm going to talk about a little bit about a rundown of the series, what to expect from it. I'm going to tell you a little about the creators of the series, who created it, some things they've written or created television shows in the past and stuff like that. So anyways, let's get to it. So pretty much Bates Motel is pretty much a drama show that was inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's film known as Psycho. I'm sure we all know what that is, the film, black and white film back from the 60s. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock. So it's pretty much a prequel to that movie, but it's like a modern day reimagining or retelling of how Norman Bates is a teenager in it, and how Norman Bates became who he is. And his mother's also in it, Norma, played by a great actress, by the way. Anyways, pretty much telling you what happened before the events of Psycho. But like I said, it's a modern day, so there's phones, modern day cars and stuff like that. So anyways, that's pretty much the entire surrounding and the entire plot of the series. We have Norman, they buy a motel, that sort of thing. That's the plot, and I'll get more into the plot here in a second. So anyways, this series is created by 3 people, actually. It was developed by Carlton Cuse, Carrie Irwin, and Anthony Soprano. Let's talk a little bit about what the things they've done, these 3 people. Carlton Cuse is known for writing several of the episodes in the Lost series, so he's kind of the overall person with dealing with Lost. Producer of Lost and that sort of thing. He's written several episodes. And then Carrie Irwin is also a television writer, and Carrie Irwin is known for doing the EBC drama series by the name of Friday Night Lights. So overall, we have 2 solid writers behind the show, and then there's also a person by the name of Anthony Cipriano, but there's not a link to click that name, so I don't know what they've done. But anyways, we have the writers behind Lost and the writers and producers behind Friday Night Lights, and that's who brings us the A&E television series by the name of Bates Motel. So let's talk a little about what this, the first season premiered. The first episode premiered tonight. It premieres on A&E every night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern Time in the United States. The first episode is going to consist of the first season is going to consist of 10 episodes. And let's talk about the first episode, what it consisted of. So pretty much we have, I don't want to give too much away. I mean, I guess I can go ahead and get a little bit into it. But something happens in the past involving Norman Bates' family, and it causes them to move. 6 months later, they end up moving to a town. His mom, Norman Bates' mother, Norma, ends up buying a motel, and they buy the motel, they renovate it, they clean the place up, and they try to get it up first. They try to get people to move in and stuff. That's pretty much the plot of the show. And while this is going on, a weirdo, this really strange guy, that really doesn't like them moving there, says, he comes on their property while they first they stand there and says, hey, my dad, is the one that built this house. He pretty much said, this is my motel. My dad built this. You guys don't know what you're doing. You guys don't know how to run a motel. You can't be living here. You can't be doing this. You need to leave. This guy pretty much tells him that. This guy ends up coming in later in this episode. I guess I'm going to get a little spoilerish, so I am going to reveal some spoilers. So if you don't like spoilers, you might want to skip a few minutes ahead of the video. Anyway, so this guy ends up coming later in the episode while Norman Bates is away with because he's very popular in the school. He has a lot of these girls that are around him. While Norman Bates is at a party with some of his friends that are girls, this same guy comes back and ends up raping Norman Bates' mother. And Norman Bates walks in while this is happening, hits the guy over the head. Norma, his mother, ends up stabbing the guy to death. Another great scene. And they together end up picking his body, setting him off one of the rooms, one of the motel rooms, I think room 4 or something like that. Details are irrelevant. Anyways, they put him in the bathtub, put the shower curtain back, and then they have blood on the carpet, so they end up having to rip all the carpet out of all the rooms and renovate. That way nothing strange or suspicious is happening. Some cops end up coming by Two cops end up coming by. These cops are going to become main characters, you can already tell. And they're like this. They come in, they're a little suspicious because it's 2 in the morning, and we have Norman Bates and Norma, Norman Bates' mother, tearing out carpets and stuff. So it looks a little strange. So they stop by and say, hey, what are you doing? One of the cops actually uses the restroom that the body's in. He doesn't even notice because the shower curtain is pulled ahead, so he can't see the body. They leave. Everything is good, and that's pretty much the gist of the first episode. They end up taking the body later on and dumping it off in the nearest place of water. So that's pretty much the gist of the premiere or the pilot episode of the A&D original television series by the name of Bates Motel. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode as a whole. It was really good stuff. I mean, this episode I really enjoyed. So we have 2 main actors or actresses in this movie or in this show. We have Freddie Highmore. Freddie Highmore, I've never really seen him in much of anything, honestly. Well, I guess he played the voice of Astro Boy, actually. Didn't know that. So I have seen him in something, actually. So that's cool. I didn't know that. He's from the UK. He's 21 years old. Anyway, so Freddie Highmore plays the role of Norman Bates, and then we have Norman Bates' mother. And if you give me just a quick second or two, his mother is played by. If I can find her. Is this her? Okay, yeah, his mother is played by a girl by the name of Vera Farmiga, and she is known for being in films such as Touching Evil, The Departed, Orphan, Up in the Air, Safe House, anyways, and most recently Bates Motel television series. So she's been in tons of stuff. She's 39 years old. Anyway, so these are the 2 main people, Vera Farmiga and then Freddie Highmore. And honestly, most people would probably think that Norman Bates steals most of these scenes. And I'm not saying that Norman Bates was bad in this. Freddie Highmore played a very good Norman Bates. It was really interesting to see Norman Bates, as a teenager. But in all honesty, I really thought that Norman Bates' mother, Norma, played by Vera Farmiga in the Bates Motel television series, I really thought she stole most of the scenes. I mean, she was a phenomenal and amazing actress. I really, especially the stabbing scene, and just, she's pretty much, there's a scene where Norman Bates gets really mad at his mother, and there's a scene where